Welcome to What's That Pen? Helping you choose your next perfect pen. My name is Arneill, and today we're going to be looking at the Prismacolor Scholar Brush Tip Marker. Now this marker comes in two different pack sizes. It comes in a 10 pack and a 20 pack. And the 10 pack has the basic primary colors that you would expect, and then the 20 pack takes all of those and sort of riffs them. I sound like a weirdo saying that word, but it's true. It's like if the regular ones were the regular keys on the keyboard, then the 20 pack gives you all the black keys on the keyboard as well, all the sharps and flats. The 20 pack is about $22.50 on Amazon currently, so that is about $1.15 per pen. Now I know when I purchased these, I thought it was a little bit steep because $22 isn't just a drop in the bucket to drop on some pens when you're trying it out. But I have to say I was so excited to get the 20 pack versus just the 10 pack, which I had before, because the variety of colors in it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, these are a water-based ink, and I'm not sure if they're acid-free or not, so they're not something that you want to use on your permanent pieces, but my goodness, for temporary pieces, I do love them, so I might be a little bit biased. They are a brush nib, and they definitely are on the larger size. So you have to consider that your upstrokes are going to be thicker than they typically would be. So your thicks are not overly thick, but your thins are definitely on the thicker side. Now, that's not always ideal when you're looking for like beautiful, tiny upstrokes, but if you want the color to pop, having those upstrokes being visible with them being a little bit thicker too can be, well, helpful for those colors to actually show up. For nib rebound, let's do one direction of pressure, no pressure, and then take a look. And there definitely is some flex on the pen still left over. That being said, it's from the base of the pen, which is better than when it's curving up at the tip. That makes your rebound to your upstrokes quite difficult. Now, I also want to say that I have definitely used this pen quite a bit, which probably has to do with why it has those funky upstrokes, but it's also good to know that over time they do get softer. They don't maintain their really crisp point, just like most felt markers. So the nib rebound is about average. The writing size is about the medium to large side, and most of that is because the upstrokes are also thicker with these pens, which means that you need to make your writing larger to have enough space for your downstrokes, your upstrokes, and your white space within your letters. Now for juiciness, let's color in the cup, messy but quick, and then smear. And there is no smear there, which is really, really nice because especially if you're left-handed, that smear can be super frustrating. I would say though that these pens, the color quality looks very rich, even though they're on the dry to regular side. I would say that they're dry only if the color also looks like it's pretty faded rather than being super rich there. Now, ease of transition, I should probably choose a color that I haven't already used a whole bunch because I've had these markers in my collection for well over a year, some of them closer to 2 years, so it makes sense that they're not perfectly pristine. This color though, I definitely have not used that much. That was wiggly user error. I do find the upstrokes on these to be relatively easy, especially for a larger size brush pen. But I would say that it's not super easy, not the easiest pen I've ever used. So on a scale of yay, okay, nay, or no way, these would be an okay pen. So why do I love them so much? Now, I think I love them because of the colors that are available. To me, there are just so many unique colors that you can't find anywhere else for this price point, which is really, really important. At least to me it is. So while the pros and cons, the pros being that there are beautiful colors, that they're a relatively good cost, and that they have otherwise average use, average nib rebound, average ease of transitions, average juiciness. Those are all sort of just like middle of the road things. But then there aren't really huge cons to this pen either, because like I said, well, this purple one definitely has a softer tip. I've had it for a very long time. So though the tip is softer, one thing I want to point out is that it's not frayed, which will give you those messy edges. So if I had been more careful with my upstrokes and downstrokes, it would have still looked much cleaner. I was rushing a little bit, but it's not frayed, which is when you get those little extra lines on the outside. And these pens have been used quite a bit. So a huge pro to me is that these pens don't fray easily. If you're using the right paper, and remember that your paper is so important, you always want to use a smooth finish cardstock. And smooth finish cardstock isn't just like, oh, it feels smooth. It's actually been pressed through the presses twice in order to push those paper fibers together. That way, the paper fibers won't scratch at your felt every time it goes on top. So those smooth papers have fewer paper fibers to scratch at your felt pen. I've linked to some of my favorite smooth papers down below. That way, any pen that you invest in, whether it be an expensive pen or a not so expensive pen, it will last as long as possible, because that is what we want for any investment that we make. Overall, I would say that the Prismacolor Scholar brush tip pen is one that I love to have in my collection. I grab it very regularly. I would say that if you want some unique colors, you want a pen that isn't going to fray super easily if you're using it on the right paper, and you want a pen that allows you to do slightly larger scale writing, this would be a very good choice to add to your collection.